and true is the word, and a great army. See, and the message was true. Yeah, so I guess this is the part that they are not, that they are saying, that can be translated different ways. In Hebrew, it says, ve'emet hadavar, that means, and true is the word, and then ve'tzabá gadol, that that could be translated as, and the army great, the army great. I repeat, as I see it in the Hebrew, it says in the army great. So it could be one of two: one, that the Malach, the messenger, the envoy that is appearing before Daniel, appeared with a great army to give the message. It could also be referring to how there will be a great army coming in the end times to destroy earth, as we see in the book of Joel, the prophet, and, well, the book of Revelation, of course. So the two translations that they have for it, one is, and the appointed time is long, is because the word great is there, so they translated that as long, or great amount of time. And Tsabá is army, but Yahweh calls the army of the heavens, the stars, the sun and the moon. So he put the stars, sun, and moon for the calendar, for time, for the appointed times. So army that is great, or a great army, Tsabá Gadol, some took it as the time in the heavens will go for a long time. And others took it as the conflict will be great because of the army that will manifest. Yet I think they should uh, they should have just write a great army, which is what literally says in Hebrew. So yeah, the concordance says how it is an army. Yet from that idea, have they branch out pretty much all their definitions or connections with the sun, moon, and stars because of the fact that it is an army. Also, it's called an army in scriptures. And interestingly, as I had explained before, when Israel didn't follow Yahweh the way he wanted it, and they started worshiping idols, demons in many ways, many of them thinking that they were doing what the Almighty wanted and that they were fulfilling Torah. So much so that when Mashiach came, they killed him. So Yahweh tells Israel, even in the Torah, that he would give them to the stars of heaven, to the army, or the host of the heavens, to the host of heaven, because they were worshiping Moloch and Kium, which are pretty much Jupiter and Saturn. So they were worshiping the stars, the sun and the moon. Allah, for instance, is the moon god, which eventually turned into the god of Islam. So they started worshiping the stars, the sun, and the moon. So that's why there is a connection between army and the stars. And like I have said, one of the names that was given by to Lucifer, or was used by some who believe in him, was Sabaoth, because he was in charge of an army. So when Yahweh says that he would give them to Sabaoth, to the host of heaven, he meant he would give those people who were not worshiping Yahweh correctly to the fallen angel who brought down a third of the angels, a host of heaven, those who were worshipped as gods. So humanity has been worshiping the host of heaven. There are many of them. That's why there are many religions, many doctrines. Each doctrine is according to one of those wrong interpretations of the letter, or inventions of a different letter. And what I mean by that is that there are those fallen angels, demons, that use the scriptures, Old and New Testament, to fool people with false doctrines, while there are others who don't use the scriptures. They make up new revelations, and of course they are not true revelations, but they those who believe in them believe they have been given something new or a revelation. And for instance, well, just whatever religion that is not Christian or Jewish, like the Quran, uh, we know that was Satan appearing and saying that he was Gabriel, giving the message to Muhammad. Also, even Joseph Smith, who supposedly found a book with new revelations given to him through an angel in the forest. And that could be just completely made up by him just to create the religion. But even if it were true, like I said, we must always test the spirits, as it is written also, to see if they are of Yahweh or not. So if an angel appears, because it is written that Lucifer appears, well, it doesn't say Lucifer, Satan appears as an angel of light. So, going back to the message. So the message was true. And the army great. I'm going to keep it to the literal. And he understood the message. So one could take it as the army of time. The host of heaven will go around many times before the message would manifest. Another interpretation, the message regarding what is coming has to do with a great army that will manifest on earth and destroy all those. I mean, both that I just mentioned are true. It could be interpreted from the words, but in the literal sense, it's just saying, and the army was great. Perhaps just because of the fact that it says the message was true and the army was great, they don't know what army he's talking about, so they just try to help the reader, which I don't think is very smart, really, because they're taking away other definitions or other things that we could understand. So the message was true and the army great, and he understood the message and had understanding of the vision. So we see there, that's what I was saying, even though no army has been mentioned, or it's kind of weird to go from the message was true and the army was great. Then Daniel, the way he writes it, explains to us why he said it like that, because he says, and he understood the message and had understanding of what he saw. What did he see? A great army. So that's answering the previous question of what army, what is he talking about? Well, he saw a vision of a great army and he understood why there was a great army, and we're going to read to understand the rest. So the message was true, but and the army was great, and he understood the message and had understanding of the vision.